Welcome back to From 9 to Mom, where we discuss balancing the 9 to 5 with the beautiful chaos that we like to call motherhood.
And I feel like usually I'm pretty positive, but I think after the last week I've had, it's been like throwing stuff onto the shit pile of like, what
Just
else
over
can
and
you
over.
handle? Is that a bad way to start today's podcast?
No, I think it's real because I think, I remember you saying you're being very positive today last week, and you go from being very
Literally.
positive to it's a roller coaster. Motherhood's a roller coaster. So I think it's
Yeah.
fair.
And I knew that I was jinxing myself when we were like, oh, schedules are great. Like everything's fine. But, that whole daycare situation is just tough when something gets thrown in there and you got a wrench in the plans. Like it just really takes a toll. Really, it's just stressful for
Yeah.
you. You don't want to make anyone feel bad, and you're just trying to like get it done.
Yeah, I know you guys had a mishap this past week, so you guys are in a little bit of a bind right now, right?
Yeah. So as a true shit you can't make up, my super athletic father-in-law, like literally the most athletic human, still works out, like is in great shape, took a little bit of a tumble and he completely tore his quad muscle and is having surgery tomorrow.
I feel so bad. That's such a quick turnaround for them. And like you said about him, he's athletic. I know he does a lot of summer activities and golf. You can only golf for a little while in Rochester. So I know that's tough on him, but I also know it's tough on you guys because you rely on them for half of your daycare.
Yeah, so it's like one of the things of like you feel so bad that it happened while he was watching our kids and then to add even more to it, they were supposed to go on a trip next week to Mexico and they canceled it. Yeah. So I feel double bad that happened because he's going to be recovering from the surgery. Like he has to keep his legs straight. He can't get on a plane.
Were they able to reschedule?
Luckily they had insurance and everything.
Okay,
they were going with friends, but the friends are still going.
Okay.
They should. But like, what do you do? So yeah. And, so I had everything pretty scheduled for next week, with them being out of town. They do watch the kids about half the time, I'd say. So then now it's adding on for this week. But then next week, of course, my mother-in-law wants to watch the kids. She's like, it'll be a good distraction, but I'm like, he's not going to be able to move. Like,
yeah, now you're going to be watching three people, really. Yeah. Not that your father-in-law's being watched, but kind of.
Right. So we're just dealing with that. And then on top of all of that, of course, another round of sickness is going through the daycare. Jack has like the runny nose. And I don't know, since last time he was sick, like it's just all of a sudden he wipes his own nose now. Like before he used to like just let it go. And now it's just everything is like being wiped. He wiped it on the couch.
Oh, it's disgusting. It is disgusting what they do. And Colton will wipe it. And it's partially Jordan's fault because Jordan will be like, just wipe it on his work shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you cannot teach that because now they'll wipe it on, if you wiped it on the couch, it's the beginning to something new. But just to forewarn you as well, Colton, for a long time now, when he sneezes, it goes like in their mouth and they start understanding that it's disgusting. So if Jack is getting to the point where he knows to wipe it, he's going to know it's gross. Yeah. So Colton actually threw up this weekend. Of course, Jordan went upstairs. He asked for 20 more minutes of sleep the day after his big golf outing.
Yeah.
Make sure to go up. In the 20 minutes that he went to sleep, chaos. Colton sneezed, sucked the booger into his mouth on accident, and then threw up as a result of his own grossness. And I don't do well with vomit, as you know. So if that's happening, this is the next stage. So good luck.
So that's been good. And I haven't told you this story yet, but I just thought of it because it's a shit you can't make up. So did I not talk last week about like trying to find stuff to do? And I told you a part of this story already, but this will be good. What can we do in Rochester? Crappy weather, all that. The sun was out this weekend. Of course, the guys got out golfing. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it was 34 degrees. They were out golfing. So they were out. We took Jack to the mall yesterday for a carousel ride, which was really cute. He called it horsey rides. It was very cute.
Oh, that's cute.
So we were like, we got to take a break because mom and dad don't do well on any rides. Ryan's up there like, wobbling, spinning. Like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Jack, of course, wants to go to the top layer of the carousel with me. And I'm like, oh my God. like we're both like, okay, mommy and daddy need a break. So we go to walk through the mall, and Jack's new thing is he likes to put his hands in his pocket of hoodies when he has hoodies.
Oh, cute. He's like styling.
So we're walking through the mall and pushing the stroller with Cal in it. He's being an angel. He's like an angel anytime we go somewhere now. It's so funny because we get so paranoid. But we're walking. Doesn't Jack just fall? Hands in pocket.
No hands.
Boom. Face smack on the floor of the dirty, disgusting mall. Tooth pokes through, not like through, but like poked his lip, gushing blood. Gushing.
I'm sorry.
We're in the freaking mall. And Brian's like, this is why we don't go anywhere. Everything happens every time we go somewhere.
No, that's so true.
Just blood. He's screaming. And like, we're still in a binky mode with him. Like, he has binkies everywhere. He's screaming for his binky, which we didn't bring in because I'm like, we don't want to bring it into the mall.
And you don't know, like, you're trying not to panic because you don't want the baby to panic. But like you said, like I would be worried about with that much blood that it had poked through. Like,
so Ryan's like, his tooth's probably loose. Like, check it. So we're arguing. Me and him are arguing about how bad it is. Jack's like screaming bloody murder. Kel's like probably smiling at strangers. Like, so you know, that's why. If you're wondering why me and Ryan don't go out, that's why.
No, it gets to a point where you really do
like,
question your
we
decisions.
try to be good here.
But then you also stop, like, things stop phasing you. Like,
yeah,
we haven't talked about any of this stuff, but we went to brunch yesterday morning after the playground, and Daisy had mac and cheese, and she choked on a piece of mac and cheese and, like, you know, like, threw up, but, like, not projectile, but threw up. Yeah. And back in the beginning, that would have been, like, means for, like, everything, stop. Let's stop, go, we got to get out of here. Yeah. We literally, like, very quietly, just Jordan and I just keep clean it up, move it to the side, cut up the macaroni smaller, and she's shoveling it down her mouth. And you're like, you give up a little bit because at that point you made it out. We all got dressed. We all made it out. You made it to the mall. You got on the carousel. You know, things happen. We're just going to keep moving here. But then you do question your life choices. You're like, was it actually worth it?
I know.
For me, the answer is always yes.
I know. And
I need to get out.
I know. And we're such homebodies that we were like, of course we go try to do this one thing, like get him out of the house because we feel so bad. And there you go. So now he's got a runny nose, a fat lip. He's just out there thriving this week.
He looks like Rocky Balboa. The girls are going to love it. You're going to be like, oh yeah, boo. Look at all those.
No.
What happened? Or you're going to get a call from the child protective people. And they're going to be like, what is happening?
What do you do? I mean, if between that and then, I know I talked about it 2 weeks ago. We'll have to find when the time's right for me to talk about his haircut. He did get his haircut last week. So
we'll have to discuss
dive into
how that went and what that looked like, because I know that you were worried about it.
I'm going to have to send out an SOS. I don't know what to do, but I know you guys had a fun weekend too.
We did. We did a lot of fun stuff. We saw people, which was nice. We also had some relaxing evenings. We did the playground. We did walks, bike rides, that kind of thing. Tonight, I'm very excited. We'll have to talk about this. Jordan and Colton planned me a Colton and mommy date for my birthday this week. So they have a whole plan. I have to leave the house when they get back home for 20 minutes so they could set everything up. So I'm very excited about that. So that's a big, and Colton can't.
So cute.
He's actually a very stellar liar, which is concerning because I'm a terrible liar.
So he thinks it's a surprise for you?
Yes, he knows it's
Jordan's
a surprise. And he's telling me it's a surprise. Okay. I can't tell you. But he wants to tell me, but he won't because
I love that.
So I'm very excited to see his face and to have that happen. But I'm also excited to see what we talk about. I've been talking about this a lot lately. I think 5 is probably my favorite age right now because they say everything and all the kids at school say whatever. So obviously Colton understood that I was pregnant with Daisy. He was old enough. We talked a lot about it. He knew babies grew in the belly and they come out. We never talked about
anything else.
Mm-hmm. So we're laying in bed going into this weekend, and he looks at me and says, Mommy, I know where babies come from, and it's not what you said. And I was like, what do you mean? And I'm going to leave the kid's name out of it. He's like, my friend told me that her mommy, when she was pregnant, she was in her belly, but then she exploded out of her mom's weenie. So that's where babies come from. Like, babies explode out of your weenies. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, how do I explain this? First of all, so I look at him, I'm kind of laughing. And you're in that moment, you don't want to lie to your kid. I'm like, well,
that's a parenting decision
friends,
too. People do lie. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can. Like, I know we've talked about, I've lied to, we've lied about some things because you just don't know what else to say. But in this case, like, well, your friend isn't exactly wrong, but we do have to look at this. You grew in mommy's belly. But first of all, mommies, we don't have weenies. We've talked about this. There was no exploding out of the weenie. He said, and some babies get cut out and some babies come out the other way. His face, he looked at me, looked at my stomach, looked at me. And he's like, well, what happened to me? So now I'm thinking, do I tell him or do I not? I said, buddy, it doesn't matter. You're here. You're healthy. Babies come out whatever way they're supposed to come out. And it's okay, because as long as mommy's healthy and the babies are healthy, it's fine. He's like, yeah, I don't want a baby to come out of my weenie. I was like, buddy, don't worry about it. Babies are not coming out of your weenie. Like, not scientifically possible.
Men aren't made for a reason, bud. You're good. You were good.
Yeah, because you can't handle literally anything. So don't stress, my friend. You will never have a baby come out of your weenie. But he was very proud that he knew the true. It's like knowing the true meaning of Christmas. I know where babies come from. You're never prepared for that.
Oh my God!
And
I can't wait for him to tell Daisy about it.
Oh, he will. He tells Daisy everything. So he will tell her about it. And she's not one. He's so sweet and kind and loving. And she is just a fierce little force. So the conversation would have been much different with Daisy.
It'll go much differently with her.
Yeah, so that was like our start of our weekend. We've had some really weird stuff come up because they're learning so much at school. I don't know if I told you, he adopted a dog during Pet Week, a stuffed dog named S'more.
Yeah.
And we had the mental breakdown because he thought Daisy would get adopted. We'd have to give her away to another family. Like, it's just
learning how adoption works.
Yeah, it's been a lot of explaining in this household, but it means there's never a dull moment because you're always wrapping your head around, how do I want to answer this question, or how do I handle this situation?
The being caught off guard is like the hardest part.
Yeah.
And like spinning something up so that because I'm sure, I mean, at Colton's age, I can only imagine the difference between, because I know where Jack's at right now and like how quick I already got to be. Like, I can't imagine yet.
Yeah, you have to turn around.
They're going to know if you're like, I'll tell you later. They're not going to take that. Like,
no, and they're going to go back to school and say, well, my mom said that your mom's wrong.
They're going to repeat it.
You're
to
wrong.
Everyone.
This is the truth. So no matter what you say, you're screwed, because either you lie to your kid and they tell the kid and then they look stupid at school, or you tell them the truth and they tell someone that didn't know, and then they're stuck with a conversation like I just had to have, which was hilarious. So thanks to that parent's mom, because it literally made
came up with something on the fly.
I loved it. But yeah, so it's good. I'm excited for this week, though. It's my birthday. You know, I love my birthday. I'm feeling. We discussed a little. What am I doing? My best friend that I made here is moved to Minnesota. She's coming in with her daughter, but shit, you can't make up. I swear to God, every time a friend is supposed to come visit me,
sick.
It's always my birthday. I had those 10 friends that was it 2 years ago that were all coming from all over the country. I get COVID this time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They're not feeling good, so they might not be able to come. And you start to feel, and again, we were so positive last week, not trying to be unpositive, but you start to, birthdays are my favorite. You were born on that day, like it should be the best day of your year, right? You start to feel a little lost. Like I feel a little lost. All my days are either like work, kids, and your birthday comes up and I want to celebrate and go out and do things, but it's so reliant on, how are the kids feeling? Right. How are your babysitters feeling? Do you it's hard because you lose yourself a little bit. And of course I want it to be lavish. I mean, I wish I was going to Mexico with my family and you guys were there and all my friends, like, there were 100 people and we were partying. And Jordan turns 40 this year. Same thing. I'm not turning 40. Just want to be clear, but he is.
For the record.
Like, I want it to be special, but at the same time, it's not our season necessarily for special, and I don't know how that works out. Maybe it is our season. Everything. I mean, we said it's the year of the MILF, so we gotta get that energy.
We gotta get there.
We gotta get that energy.
We do. Back. Maybe that's what we need to take away from today. That is that energy.
Yeah, and the MILF energy back in there. And if anybody, as always, has ideas of how to get that MILF energy moving back through the comeback tour, which
set it off.
Let's go. Let's release a new album like Taylor Swift. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah. Little Taylor reference.
I guess we'll clock out because we're going to have to
end it on a high note. Let's do it.
So everybody have a great day. We look forward to talking to you later this week.
Bye.
Bye.